Are you a finance manager or finance leader in a startup or scale up and really want to have access to a good course such as our Financial Leadership Fundamentals program, for example, and you just don't know how to ask your boss to pay for this course? This can be quite daunting. Startups and scale ups, they don't have a huge amount of money, particularly now in 2024, where we have real problems with cost of living. But having a finance lead within the business who can really learn from experts in their field, ultimately, it doesn't just help you as the individual and your career and excelling to that CFO role, but it really helps the business as well, and particularly the founder. Hi, my name's Alysha Randall, and I am a fractional CFO, and I have been working as a fractional CFO for the last 5 years, but I've also been working with startups and scale ups for nearly 20 years. I also train new and aspiring finance directors or CFOs in startups and scale ups. And today I wanted to make a video for you that potentially could give you the confidence to approach your founder to pay for a course that upskills you into that finance leadership role or helps you in that finance leadership role that you're currently in. I do have a one-pager that you can share with your founder as well, that can help you with that conversation that you might have when talking to them about investing in your education. So there's quite a few reasons why a founder would want to invest in you as a finance leader. And here are some of the top ones. So upskilling for better leadership. So whether you're a financial controller, a head of finance, a finance director, upskilling obviously is really part and part of your role. Founders need to support you to make sure that you have the skills to support the business properly. So whether you're transitioning from a management role to a leadership role, which is a significant step because you're really looking at things differently, there's a completely different skill set. Even just thinking about management accounts as example, as a manager, you are putting that pack together. What should you be doing as a leader? Well, actually, there's a huge amount that you should be doing with the management accounts, and generally it's before month end. And do you know what that is? So without the right training, it can be a real challenge moving up from that management to that leadership role. Similarly, if you're moved sideways, so you may have been a leader in banking or in audit, and then coming into the startup and scale up world, trying to understand how to support your founder can also be a real challenge. So it's trying to get the right structure, the right tools, the right resources in order to support the founder better and become a really strong CFO. Often within a startup or scale up, there isn't already an established and experienced CFO to learn from. HR departments, you may not even have a HR department. You may just have an X-source HR resource, or the HR department is you. So you may not have a learning and development team, which is part of your HR department, like you do with a large corporate. And founders are too busy scaling the business. They just don't have time to help upskill your leadership skills and mentor you like you would have received in a large business or if you have a large finance function. So investing in a professional development course, it gives you as a finance lead the training without straining the internal resources. It's also a really cost-effective way of developing your skills essentially. So rather than hiring externally. So recruitment is incredibly expensive, particularly if you're recruiting for a leadership role. So sure, you can put something up on the internet and have lots of people coming in to apply for it, but generally the better way of recruitment is headhunting and hiring a recruitment firm for those leadership roles. And recruitment can be 20 to 25% of the salary. So if you're thinking about how expensive a fully qualified, experienced CFO is, and then take 25% of that salary, and that's what they have to pay up front plus VAT or sales tax, then that's a really expensive way of spending your resources, rather than spending a couple of grand or a few grand on a course and upskilling your existing staff. So there is actually, even though, you know, there is a cost with upskilling existing team members, the actual cost to bring in a leader maybe 12 months later is far outweighs the cost of just the course. So how do you approach your founder and ask for the investment that you want in order to upskill your leadership skills? So there's a few ways. Firstly, highlight the business benefits. So explain how really upskilling and improving your performance can benefit the company. Particularly as a finance leader, you can talk about how you can handle financial challenges, how you can really support the growth, identify areas where you can help with the growth, so minimizing risk and maximizing growth, how you can contribute to that decision making, particularly if a lot of people within the leadership team are less finance orientated, and how you can help with fundraising. And this will really show the founder that if you have more skills, you can really take a lot of the analysis that potentially they are doing off their hands, and you can be doing it. It's worthwhile emphasizing the cost savings, so pointing out the comparison with hiring externally, talk about the high cost of recruitment, but also talk about the resources required to onboard a new hire. So not only do you have to find somebody, and everybody who has got a team knows how long it takes to hire someone. It can take 6 months. You then have to wait for them to arrive. And then once they arrive, they will take at least 3 months to onboard. Whereas if the founder decides to invest in you as somebody that is already working with the business, you already understand the culture. You already understand the business model. You already understand lots of the issues that the company has and potentially might be able to solve. You could even talk about that as a particular project that you could get the skills to take the responsibility of. So by investing in internal development, the company not only saves money, but also saves time, and also saves finding a replacement for yourself, for example. If the business is willing to invest in you and you're able to grow alongside with the business, then you're less likely to leave the business. So it improves retention. And it also demonstrates to the rest of the business that if you're working hard, are quite diligent, and are willing to be educated and upgrade your skills, and you're rewarded by being promoted within the business, it's a very good example for the rest of the business, and encourages retention by way of example. It's also maybe potentially good to provide some evidence. So there are plenty of articles and research that support your case. I will link a couple of articles below, one from entrepreneur.com and another one from Forbes, and they really highlight the benefits of promoting within, which include things such as improved motivation, higher retention rates, and a quicker adaptation to these new roles. So it is worthwhile saying, not just the evidence such as what you have seen or what you have experienced, but rather external evidence as well. It also kind of helps your case. Courses like the Financial Leadership Fundamentals programs that we offer are really designed specifically for finance leaders in startups and scale-ups. So it's a comprehensive training over 8 weeks if you do it 3 hours a week, with Q&A sessions where you can address specific challenges and I can provide practical solutions. So this is very much a on-the-job style training. It's very practical, and you will learn directly what is involved in your role. It's not a very high level program where it's very theoretical and academic. I did a women's in leadership program with the Oxford Business School and the said business school, and it was very interesting, and I learned a lot, but it was very academic and theoretical, and so therefore applying what I learned to my role was a little bit more challenging. Whereas the Financial Leadership Fundamentals program is very practical, and you can put actions into your role basically immediately. At the end of every module, there are plenty of actions that you can implement. So there is a direct correlation with a program like this into your role and really stepping it up a level. And so if you are, again, moving from that management to that leadership role, or you have moved outside startups and scale ups into a startup and scale up and struggling a bit with how to support the founder because it is such a different industry, then this program is specifically designed for your needs. It's also CPD accredited. It basically is a full year worth of CPD, so you'd be able to apply that, and you wouldn't need to do any further courses to get your CPD hours up for the full year, which is also useful. So investing your education through continuing your professional development really is a win-win for both you and the business you work for and your founder. It just enhances your leadership skill and supports your career development so you can really excel within your career and hopefully get promoted, hopefully get a bigger salary as well. And then once you've worked with this business for quite a number of years and learned what you can just move on from there. As I mentioned, I will leave all of the information below. I'll leave the one pager that you can share. I will leave resources that are available to you and a couple of articles to show the ones that I mentioned, the Forbes and the entrepreneur.com articles, so you've got kind of a toolkit to go to your founder with and hopefully get some education. Whether it's the Financial Leadership Fundamentals program or another program, you can certainly go to your founder with a list. So absolutely be prepared for having that conversation rather than just saying, oh, I want training and that's it. It's always worthwhile having a real clear pros as to why you want a particular course and what that means for the founder and for the business. So hopefully you found that useful. Please subscribe to this channel if this is you. You are a finance leader in a startup or scale up, or you want to be a finance leader in a startup or scale up. I do videos once a week, and I give you information such as this that will help you in your finance career. Thanks very much, and I'll see you next week.